Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Whitney Kell. I'm a presidential director with Take Shape for Life, and I have been a certified health coach for over 13 years. Today, we're excited to bring you health coaching and what it means for personal trainers. Now, I think this opportunity is brilliant for anyone who is looking how to integrate better health in their lives. So we're going to have some great speakers today, too. Okay. So what Take Shape for Life is about, I want to just share a little bit and ask you, as trainers or as those of you on the call today who are interested in creating more health in your life, have you ever thought about these three areas of your life? In Take Shape for Life, we look at these three areas: healthy body, healthy mind, and healthy finances. And we believe that there's a thread running through all three areas. And if you look at, and this is a question for you, if you think about if you're unable to rest at night because you're stressed about your finances, is it possible that you're more likely to overeat during the day? So what if you're stressed about your kids or something that's going on in their lives? Is that more likely that you're going to be stressed out and overeat during the day? Or if you're overstressed because of work, you don't have a chance to exercise. There's so many things that are interconnected here, aren't there? So this is a fabulous tool for trainers to take a look at the entire physical, mental, and financial health of their clientele. So we have a lot of tools with Take Shape for Life that allow us to assess where we are in our lives and look at where we want to go. So my request to everyone on the call is to please take a look at where you currently are and look at where you would like to go. So if you look at your scores with your physical body, which is where we're going to focus on, and a lot of the trainers on the call, that's what your main focus is you're really helping your clientele move forward with their physical health. But wouldn't it make sense to get the scores on all three areas so at least you're doing an overall evaluation for your clientele? So taking a look at healthy body from a 1 to a 10, where would you give yourself a score? And write that down. And you can go through and do all the rest, but for this call, we're going to focus on all three, actually. We're going to focus on healthy body, healthy mind, and healthy finances. And we're going to have a group of trainers who have used this program very effectively in their practices and have helped a lot of people transform not just their physical, but their overall health. And them themselves, they start with themselves in this program. So it's pretty exciting. And I just want to share my story briefly before I turn it over to Sharon. You know, one of the things that's most important in my life has been having mentorship and community. And I know a lot of trainers, like a lot of entrepreneurs, are on their own out there, aren't they? You know, there's not a big community. You don't have a job. You don't really have a boss a lot of times. You're your own boss. And what I love about the Take Shape for Life community is it's a group of people who are professionals who are working on improving their lives in those three areas that we just talked about. And this is the medical director, Dr. Wayne Anderson, and my mentor and health coach, Greg Rex. And they have been instrumental in supporting me, believing in me, right? Isn't that what a trainer does? You believe in people until they believe in themselves. And Greg's story is probably similar to a lot of your stories out there of your clientele. You know, he exercised all the time. Greg was doing 3 triathlons in 1 year, but what was interesting is he was still not having success. He's 37 years old. He didn't have health issues, like no high cholesterol or high blood pressure. He was 233 pounds with a 32 BMI. Now, his family did, at his age, already have issues with heart disease, cancer, diabetes, and Greg is my sweetheart of 16 years. We both have tried, while I was with him, we tried a lot of different programs. We tried a lot of different processes. And so he finally decided to hire a triathlon coach. And it was interesting because as soon as he hired the triathlon coach, he started asking questions, which a great trainer does, as you all know. And what the trainer said is, how much are you eating? And he said, well, you know, he's working out and usually having one big meal at night. And the trainer said, well, you are on the sumo wrestler plan. And basically, Greg didn't understand how important those small, frequent meals throughout the day that trainers live by. Don't you? I mean, trainers live by eating small, frequent meals, helping their clientele balance their blood sugars, and making sure that what they're eating is appropriate to where they want to go. So Greg is there on the Sumo Wrestler Plan. The triathlon coach says, look, just eat every 3 hours throughout the day, and you'll get your results. And Greg said, I'd have to quit my job. How can I make all those meals and all that cleanup? You know, he's living with his roommate, and him and his roommate are working 16-hour days, taking a company public. He just did not see how it was even possible that he could possibly eat that often throughout the day and still do his job. So in 50 weeks, Greg lost 50 pounds in 10 weeks. And what a miracle this was in my life. To see my sweetheart, who'd just given away all, you know, that part of the closet that a lot of your clients have that are your skinny clothes, he'd just given all of those away. And then he found this program. And it was so easy for him to do that he lost 50 pounds in 10 weeks. And it's over 13 years. It's almost been 14 years for Greg. And he has kept his weight off. He's 51 years old. He's in great shape. And he looks a lot like this picture here where he was doing the triathlon. So I just wanted to set it up and share a personal story of us, two of us who have done this for over 13 years and had incredible successful results. And I want to turn it over to our trainers now. I'm going to start with Sharon Fetko and give her the mic to talk a little bit about what our program is all about. Sharon, are you there?
I am, Whitney. Thank you.
Yes.
So who is Take Shape for Life? Oh my goodness. Well, this is such an amazing program. I'd love to show you one of my clients, Jess Gallus. She's on the next slide, and she's Take Shape for Life. She decided to take shape for life. She had been struggling for many years. She used to work out a lot, but a lot of things got in her way, just like a lot of our clients. They come to us to help them on their journey. And in most cases, for me, my clients have had weight to lose. So this is Jess. After 4.5 months, she had lost 55 pounds. She's exercising 5 times a week. She's now been off program in what we call our maintenance mode for 9 months and has kept her weight off and has created this lifestyle through our habits of health that have supported her journey. So for the first time in many, many years, like many of my clients, they not only were given hope and inspiration, but they actually saw results that now they try to bring hope and inspiration to others that they meet. So our program, it really is a comprehensive program. As a personal trainer, I love the physical activity piece of it. I help people with nutrition. But there's a third component that really played the biggest role in the success of those clients that I worked with that were not successful. We have the most awesome piece called the MetaFast 5-in-1. We are scientifically proven these products are. It's the first component. That's the nutrition piece that helps our clients get started. The second piece is the health coach. As personal trainers, that's what we love to do. We love to coach, we love to guide, we love to cheer them on and support them along their journey. The third component, though, which is the one that I didn't have access to, was the habits of health. And it has made the biggest impact on each and every one of the people that I've had the pleasure of working with. I kind of look at this as a 3-legged stool. And so if one of these legs is missing, the success of my clients decreases considerably. So our program consists of 3 specific entities. The first one is we're going to talk about the MetaFast 5-in-1. So the basic program is what's called our Optimal Weight 5-in-1 plan. The majority of our clients start on this. That's what Greg did. And basically, for those of us who are trainers, we understand ketosis. And that's really utilizing our fat stores. So what happens when the person is on our 5-in-1 program is they lose their weight very quickly and very safely. They're eating 5 meal replacements that are very nutritious throughout the day, and they're eating every 2.5 to 3 hours, so their blood sugars are being regulated. What I love is that we have such a variety of products to choose from. There are over 70 different products, so our clients really are never going to get bored with the program that's the MetaFast piece of it, the meal replacements. And what's cool is each of the products themselves have a very similar blueprint. So someone might decide they want one item at one time of day, and the next day it might be something else. I have some clients that live on 3 items throughout their entire journey, and that's fine too. So there's something for everybody in our program. The other piece of our products is that they are just so healthy for the client, and it provides them the energy that they need. So when we get into the next slide, which Whitney brought up, which is our optimal 3 and 3 plan, once our clients actually get to their healthy weight, because lifestyles are really busy, this is where this program kicks in for that client, which is our maintenance program. But for many of my clients who already really were at their healthy weight, we still have a portion of those that are these crazy people out there that are at their healthy weight, and they just work really hard, but yet they may not be able to be performing optimally because their blood sugars aren't regulated. That's where this program can come into play for both maintenance and for those who just need a program to help them along. So again, they're eating every 2.5 to 3 hours. Their metabolisms stay revved up. They're choosing 3 meals that they get to make, and then they're using the Medifast Optimal Health products. The foods that they make is going to be dependent upon a calorie intake, and we have our healthy exchange options, so they get to choose between that if they're not quite sure how to do it all yet. Love that piece of it. And we work with them in deciding just how much they'll be taking in through what's called a total energy expenditure. And these products are fabulous because they don't have any artificial flavors, colorings, sweeteners. So that was the first component. The second, which is the Habits of Health system, which I have found to be so successful. If we look at this, we're really like a 6-part program. And what I love about it is if you look at number 2, reaching the healthy weight, that's where most programs for people stop. So number 3, the transitioning into healthy eating, becomes the biggest component when someone loses their weight, to learn how to keep the weight off, and transitioning out of the Medifast, whether they keep a couple of them in, like a 3 and 3, some people do, some people choose to do all of it on their own, but they will know exactly what they need to do and how to do it. So I love that. And then again, our Habits of Health, our clients are continually tapping into this. It took them how many years to create the old habits? They need to be reinforced with the new habits, and they continually learn along this journey. And 5 and 6 really is the creme de la creme. It's really learning how to live ultra healthy as we age. And then the third leg of the stool, of course, is our health coach, the free health coach, and our optimal health community. So our clients aren't left by themselves. If you can see in the center of that, that's me and my client. And what I love about that is, as their partner, I can only be with them, once a week. And so I want to surround them with other avenues of support so that they can be successful long term. And we have a wonderful incentive program when they're on our B-Slim program, and they get special offers, which is great, and that's an incentive for many people. But I love the fact that we have a nutrition support team. We have support calls that are offered weekly. Again, I find out what the clients want, and I plug them into what they need. And we have these fabulous community meetings and healthy challenge games that are on all the time to really bring them into a team environment and keep them supported. It's a fabulous, fabulous program, and I've had such great success with hundreds of people.
Great job, Sharon. Thank you for sharing. I'm so glad that you are part of our team helping so many people create better health. Would you like to introduce our next speaker?
I sure would. Our next speaker is Jill Pachowski. She is also a friend of mine and someone that I had the opportunity to coach, and she is a personal trainer.
Great. Well, hi, everybody. Like Sharon said, I am a personal trainer. I've been a personal trainer for 18 years. I think we'll see that in our next slide, we're talking about stress. One thing that Sharon brought up and did such a nice job covering was what our program involves and how comprehensive it is. As a personal trainer, and as Whitney said, we love to have our clients eat several small meals a day. But what I would often find as I would introduce this to my personal training clients is that they would just go, I just don't have time. And then they would start talking about stress and start feeling even more stressed out trying to deal with the idea of doing this. The other thing I think we know as trainers is that people are not going to long-term stay with something unless it's easy. And so when I found the Take Shape for Life program and saw all the education that's involved and everything that's laid out for us, I really came on board wholeheartedly. Again, with the stress that people have in their lives, the other thing that, stress can be mental, it can also be physical. And I think you'll see in the next slide that one of the things that can cause a lot of stress for people is the way that people eat these days. Their blood sugars go way out of control. They'll typically have that morning orange juice and a bagel and skip till lunch where they're having fast food, and then they wait until evening and they're having a high-carb meal. And when the blood sugars are way out of control like that, it not only has an effect on their ability to lose weight, but it also can affect how they feel mentally. The one thing I really love as I've introduced this program to various clients is they'll come back and say, I have so much energy now, more so than ever before. I feel like I'm able to think even better. And that's a big stress reliever for them, plus just the way the program is laid out for them and makes it easy for them to fit it into their busy lives. I think the next slide here is a client of mine, and I love to explain about this client because there's several different aspects about her that, for one, she's had obviously great results. Jennifer lives in California. I live in Minnesota. She's lost 68 pounds on the program. So number one, she's had great results. She's told me she's tried many, many other programs before without this kind of results. She's been spot on. And it brings up a couple of things as a trainer that I was not able to affect before. One is she was able to lose this weight with very little exercise. She has a foot injury that prevented her from exercise. She even was told at one point that she was going to have bones in her foot fused to get past it. But now that she's taken off all this weight, she's out there hiking and even starting to jog a little. The other thing is the change in my ability to reach more people. When you're a trainer, you really can only train those people that are right there in front of you. And as a Take Shape for Life health coach, now I have clients all over the United States, which is really fun. And hoping I get to go visit them someday. So next slide. So this slide really shows you the kind of glucose insulin response that we have as people who are on the Take Shape for Life program. It really is all about learning to manage blood sugars. And what that does for the body, I think most of you know, is that insulin is highly tied in with fat storage. And as our body secretes more insulin, it definitely affects our ability to lose weight. And talking about stress too, I will kind of relate my own response to this being a coach on this program. A lot of people are stressed because of time concerns. A lot of people are stressed because of financial issues. It's probably one of the biggest, well, as this slide says, it's the top U.S. worry. And that definitely was happening in my life as well. I loved what I did as a trainer, but I had no time and my finances were not improving. They've definitely taken an uptick since becoming a coach.
Outstanding. So would you agree then, I'm sorry, it's showing Sharon on your name there, Jill. Would you agree, Jill, that they're all three connected, then I think we've proved it with physical, talking about the program and how it affects you. You've proved it with healthy mind and
Right.
how stressed people are. Do you want to introduce our next speaker and get us set up for the healthy financial part?
Sure. Our next speaker is Johnny King. He is a personal trainer out of Colorado, and he's had tremendous success as a personal trainer as well as a coach on the program. So take it away, Johnny.
Thanks, Jill and Sharon and Whitney. You guys can hear me okay?
Mm-hmm.
Yes? Awesome. Well, thank you. And I am out of Denver, Colorado, and a personal trainer, certified nutritionist, certified health coach, and excited to kind of talk about the money part of things, because that has enabled me to have the lifestyle that I have now here. But if you go to the next slide, I'll show you one of my, well, this is, yeah, you can actually go to the next slide here. Thank you. So the idea of coaching, all those things that Jill and Sharon talked about are absolutely true. I can attest to that, having owned multiple gyms over the last 5 years and just seeing the patterns. But I was always trying to wear so many different hats between, business owner, business operator, nutritionist, personal trainer, friend, all those good things. And, the cool thing about finding a platform and a model such as this is that you can just really kind of hone in on the things that you're really good at, and starting off in this business as a health coach, as you grow and your skills improve, and you get the better idea of what's going on and being able to help more and more people, you kind of graduate into helping other people and other coaches become more effective in helping others, right? And that become, the natural process is that you can go from a health coach into a business coach into a business leader as you work your way kind of through this whole platform. And we'll kind of get into kind of the nitty gritty here in a second. So go ahead, Whitney. Thank you. So the cool thing about it, very simply, is the more people you help, the more you're compensated for it, right? Where sometimes it feels like in my old corporate job, it was just trading hours for dollars. So the real essential focus of this whole thing is just enrolling and supporting clients, and then you're mentoring and supporting health coaches to build, teams so that you can have a greater impact on a larger number of people across the country, because God knows we all need the support. So go ahead, Whit. My client here, Jan, is very special to me because in many ways, she's like my mother, since they were best friends, and Jan has known me since I was hours old. But she was right on that kind of yo-yo dieting path as my mom was. My mom passed away 9 years ago, and Jan was almost one of the first clients that I asked kind of to guinea pig into this program, just to see if this was what it was all cracked out to be. As I was a personal trainer with my gyms, and she was from Florida. I was in St. Louis, and you can see for yourself to lose over 80 pounds in 8 months, for her to now keep it off for years, has been dramatic. And now Jan is one of my successful coaches along too, helping so many women in the Florida and actually now across the country do the same thing, men and women for that matter. So thank you, Whitney. Perfect. So let's look at some of the compensation. When you first start off, and this is just to reiterate, this is kind of based off of active coaches. This is not just kind of a summary of what could be happening, but actually what coaches are making. So when you first jump into this, if you just have 1 to 4 clients, just a few people, could be family members, could be friends, that sort of thing, you're looking at it on average making close to $100, $87 each kind of amount or percentage of clients that you start impacting more of, right? 5 to 9, 10 to 12. I'm kind of looking at that middle column there. You're able obviously to make more money because your compensation moves up as you continue to hit new rank thresholds. So from health coach on the left to senior coach to manager to associate director, all the way up to executive director. Obviously, once you're up to about executive director, you kind of tap out the compensation percentage that you can make. Not that you can make, but that you get on each client's order. So very roughly speaking, for someone to jump in and have 20, 21 clients, and you're probably, working 5 to 10 hours a week, is not bad to be then pulling in close to $3,000, not bad at all. So, of course, you can add a little extra 3% bonus by becoming a certified health coach, which is pretty awesome. So the advantages of coaching, I could probably talk about this for hours, but that being said, there you can see Greg Rex surfing his surfboard, which he loves to do. He likes to have his board meetings. But it allows you pretty much the freedom and flexibility to work anywhere and anytime. And I can attest to that since I travel a fair amount, where before, when I was tied to my brick and mortar, gyms and training every single day, it was a grind in many different ways. So, but you're you're rewarded for helping people, whether you as a trainer can help them one-on-one, face-to-face, or you can start, like Sharon and Jill mentioned, helping people all across the country. There's obviously no inventory, territories, or wholesaling that you have to do, which is kind of cool. It's all kind of taken care of. So you just have to focus on fulfilling, helping clients and also helping kind of build teams with other coaches. And coaches are going to naturally come out of clients who this has changed their life and they want to pay it forward. So there's so many benefits of running a home-based business from the standpoint that, you can do it from wherever, like I said, and from the comfort of a hotel room or wherever you might be traveling, which is pretty neat to set your own time and not have to be anywhere is a freedom that should never be taken for granted. So next slide would be perfect. Looking at the leveraging time versus financial freedom. If you're just focusing on training clients one-on-one, there's only so many hours in the day, correct? As a personal trainer, I ran into that. And so my idea was, hey, I'll do boot camps. So I grew my business to where I was doing over 80 clients, over 80 women in a single room by myself. There still was a glass ceiling to that where I couldn't do any more people, right? Where with this same type of platform, if you're focusing only on acquiring clients yourself, you can make a great income pretty rapidly, pretty quickly, which is actually what I did. But then you only have so many hours to work with. But then when you start to leverage helping other coaches build their teams, gosh, that's where you have this huge network of people that are all supporting each other, all like-minded, and your income starts to grow exponentially there with the blue line, which is pretty awesome. Looking at that exponential growth, which is pretty cool. For instance, I'm a regional director right now, nearly a national director, and I would say that's pretty accurate to say. Just from it can actually be higher than that, but to be making $5,000 to $8,000 a month, somewhere around 100,000 a year, and I've done this all within about the last year, is very doable. And I haven't been doing it full time. I mean, I have been, I guess, but I was transitioning out of, gym ownership and all that good stuff. But to see what's possible where you could move your way up into being a global director and presidential director, like Whitney is, the monthly income is almost beyond, being able to mentally digest that. But there are a lot of people that are making, in the mid 500s even over $1 million in this business just by helping other people essentially regain their physical freedom. So you gain financial freedom while helping other people really get back to living life at the peak, which is pretty fulfilling. So the money is just the icing on the cake, to be totally honest, no pun intended. So the timing is pretty awesome. Not because we're unhealthy, that's not awesome. And not because the economy is necessarily kind of volatile right now, which is not also awesome, but it is what it is. And as a result, the industry is ginormous. It's a $60 billion industry and growing, because we continue, as Americans, continue to get, more and more unhealthy. And we have such a small sliver of that with Take Shape for Life that the upside potential is, through the roof, which is really cool. So perfect timing. Thank you. So what it ultimately comes down to is making a decision. I would suggest getting with the person who invited you and obviously asking some questions if you have any. And obviously I'll pass it back to Whitney here in a second, but it's an incredible opportunity, which all of us as trainers can attest to, which has given us more freedom, more social proof, so many different things that, that just help our businesses grow individually as people. And I can just say for myself, I'm a lot happier, not because I'm making better money, but just because I'm empowered with my day-to-day schedule in my life than I was even 2 years ago before I started this program. So anyways, back to you, Whitney.
Well, great work, Johnny. Let me ask you a question. How is the investment, and I don't, I'm obviously not a trainer myself, but how is the investment to participate in Take Shape for Life and get certified as a coach compared to becoming a personal trainer? Can you give us a little dialogue on that for this piece?
Absolutely. Yeah, I can see Jill's eyebrows raise, and Sharon's too. That sometimes the investment in becoming certified as a personal trainer can be lengthy. 12 months, 18 months, it can be thousands of dollars. It's like going back to school, which is awesome. With that being said, I can also attest to, starting up a gym, can be tens of thousands of dollars as well, where you look at this as a $200 investment, which you can make back easily within literally probably the first 24 hours if you just signed up a couple people. And then becoming certified is another $200. So for $400 to start a home-based business, it's kind of too good to be true. But what I love about this compared to other platforms similar to this in the health industry that I've kind of dabbled with, the compensation is beyond, fair. It's pretty generous. So I'm very grateful for that.
Outstanding. Yeah. And I agree. We are very blessed to have the freedom to help people get healthy and create a better life, and to have such a simple process to do it. And I really appreciate all of you for sharing. Thank you, Johnny, for helping us better understand how you can become compensated as a certified coach. Thank you, Sharon, for helping us better understand the system. And thank you, Jill, for helping us better understand how mental health and balancing your blood sugars and connecting all of those really is a key to creating optimal health for clients. And I'm excited that you all are out there helping people, talking to personal trainers. I think trainers, very similar to physicians, really are an access point to helping change this country's pattern of health. And the cool thing about trainers is that you guys actually are physically fit. You're living it and teaching it, which I love. And I hope we can have more health professionals and more trainers live it and teach it like you all are. So thank you all. I'm gonna stop the recording, and we're gonna